He held a ruler against the wall and was shocked to see it varied by over 30 degrees in different spots. Even more astonishing was when he poured water on the ground, which instantly split into two parts. After discovering the house's oddities, Nick quickly grabbed a tape measure. He first measured the width inside, then the same spot outside. Surprisingly, the inside was 3 meters larger than the outside. Even the little girl found it hard to believe, it defied physics. His daughter felt a chill and ran inside. She dressed and opened the door, but never came out again. Nick stood puzzled outside the door, thinking his daughter was playing hide and seek. When he opened the door, he only saw her clothes. To grasp this film, we begin at the start. Nick, a renowned screenwriter, has a wife 18 years his junior. An actress and her handsome co-stars led Nick to rent a remote villa online, where he moved with his wife and daughter the next day to escape torment. The couple was initially pleased with the house design, but Nick suddenly heard a strange noise that his wife did not. This was the first hint in the film. At night, Nick went downstairs to turn off the lights and go to bed. The clock read 10:34 p.m. His wife waited in bed while their daughter played alone. A shadow suddenly appeared on the wall, startling the girl. Luckily, her father arrived just in time. She told Nick about the strange shadow, but he dismissed it. After he left, the shadow flashed again. Nick turned off the lights one by one, but when he returned, he found his wife already asleep. Helpless, he gave up on the idea of sleeping together. However, he didn't notice that nearly 5 hours had passed while he was downstairs turning off the lights. The next morning, his wife and daughter went for a walk in the forest. The daughter suddenly asked her mother why the neighbors disliked her father. The mother didn't hide the truth. Nick had been married before, but his ex-wife drowned in the bathtub. Although the coroner ruled it an accident, the neighbors believed she died at Nick's hands. This left Nick with a severe psychological shadow, making him anxious and unable to write. He casually tossed his notebook on the table and went out to buy some groceries, only to learn some secrets about the house from the store owner. Before Nick's arrival, a former owner vanished mysteriously. Before leaving, the owner handed him a ruler. Nick was puzzled but accepted the gift. The store owner knew the truth about the house, but Nick hadn't found anything unusual yet, so he didn't investigate further. When he returned home, strange events occurred. Nightmares often woke him, disrupting his sleep. He went to the study to write and found a line of text in his notebook, written in his own handwriting, saying, "Leave here immediately," but he didn't remember writing it. He heard footsteps behind him and turned quickly, but saw nothing unusual. He assumed he was just overworked. But then he heard the sound of a door closing behind him. He turned around, terrified, to see a door had appeared where the bookshelf was. He opened it and saw a hallway leading deep underground. Driven by curiosity, he went down to check, only to find a large number of candid photos taken when they first moved in. He found his daughter in a room, but she had drowned. Nick couldn't accept it and thought it was a nightmare. He slapped himself repeatedly, trying to wake up, even breaking a wine bottle and stabbing his neck. The intense pain woke him up, and he was relieved it was just a nightmare. He then took his wife to the study and told her about the door that appeared in his dream, but after careful consideration and revealed nothing unusual. Deshawn's frequent nightmares caused him distress. After talking with his wife, they chose to move out. As Deshawn packed, he noticed his wife playing with the kids outside the window. He texted his wife, saying they were cute. He discovered his wife had another phone, and his message was received there. Whose message was his wife secretly replying to? Deshawn suspected her hair was dyed green. He questioned her via phone, but Xiaomei denied it, claiming her right to privacy. She was unhappy with Deshawn checking her phone, then he left. She wanted to be alone to calm down. Once Xiaomei left the mountain, she discovered the rumor from her dream in her notebook, along with an additional line of text. It's too late to leave the weak villa. Only he and his daughter remain. His daughter accidentally broke the cup on the table. She noticed 2 piles of water on the ground. The next operations were the opening scene. Upon discovering the house was 5 meters longer than expected, the daughter felt a chill. She entered the room to grab her coat, but as she opened the door to leave, the strange scene occurred again. The daughter vanished. Deshawn assumed she was playing hide and seek, so he opened the door she had just exited. Her clothes lay on the ground. He feared his daughter was in danger and searched the villa frantically, but despite checking every corner, he found no trace of her. Unbeknownst to him, his daughter had entered another dimension. She walked down the corridor and found a bathroom at the end. Deshawn searched for his daughter, but the house grew increasingly strange. He opened the second-floor door and entered the first-floor living room, like stepping into a maze. In order not to lose his way, he brought a chair from the door and blocked the way, but when he turned around, he gasped. The 1-meter-wide corridor expanded to 50 meters. Deshawn then entered the study room, once a nightmare. The door reappears. He suspected his daughter was inside. When he entered, the door closed behind him automatically. The girl met an old man. "We don't have a lot of stuff here, so lucky dad, I make sure you always be there for him." Nick, scared of the old man, ran away screaming but heard his daughter's voice. He kicked the door open and returned to the first-floor living room. The chair he placed on the floor remained. Luckily, he was on the stairs. He found his missing daughter. "My daughter is scared but unharmed." He never let her leave home again. Then, he called his wife. No one answered, so he called the store owner for it. Borrow a car to escape, but the boss warns Nick that leaving is impossible. This was the villa long ago. Originally a church for sinful souls, it was later demolished for unknown reasons. This villa was built on the church's foundation. Anyone who sins will be trapped in the villa forever upon entering. After the call, Nick quickly took his daughter from the terrible place. They had no car and could only walk in the dark. After a long walk, they saw the front. A bright light appeared, but as he approached, he was horrified to see the villa had returned. Nick, exhausted, chose to endure the night and return tomorrow. As they settled down to rest, a sudden flash of white light revealed someone was secretly photographing them. He recalled the photo from the basement, realizing he was photographed during that time. Check to find the sneak photographer. Wait for him to leave the room. The room was locked and he entered the mysterious space again. A bathtub filled with water caught his eye, but the next second a ghost grabbed his neck from behind, pinned her down. When Nick regained his senses and looked closely, he realized the ghost was his ex-wife. The ghost vanished. Nick jumped up and ran upstairs in fear. When he opened the door, he saw his past self from days earlier. He was restless and left for the store. She quickly noted, "Leave quickly," in her notebook. This revealed it was her true self. As she entered the living room, time shifted again to when they had just moved into the villa, and the strange sounds were her current self's cries for help. Suddenly, the watch spun quickly, and the stairs twisted. He tried to climb, but a white light flashed again, leaving him in the same spot. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get upstairs, but his daughter was still in danger, and he couldn't just sit and wait. After much effort, he climbed upstairs to a different time and space, where he saw the old man talking to his daughter. Nick threatened the old man to free his daughter, but the old man replied, "This is your fault." Furious, Nick struck the old man with a stick, but when the old man removed his hat, Nick was shocked. The old man was Nick. He warned, "Once you enter the villa, you can't leave." Terrified, Nick collapsed. The old man said, "Now you know what to do." After he spoke, a white light flashed, and he vanished. At this moment, his daughter came down the stairs. Nick looked at her with guilt and then hugged her as they went upstairs. Time and space normalized. His wife returned, now calm. He revealed to her the true reason for his ex-wife's death. "I let her drown. I could have pulled her out, and I didn't. I watched her die. All those years, being so angry, hating her so much, and keeping it inside. I should have left." He avoided legal consequences, but guilt remains. The villa serves as a courtroom for sins. Innocent people can leave, but he cannot escape. Finally, he put his daughter in the car and said a final goodbye to his wife. The villa was once again listed online for rent.